Over the centuries, the River Clyde has helped shape Glasgow's history and character, and the city, as it has grown up, has in turn shaped the river that runs through it. In recent years, substantial investment has gone into developments along its banks, yet the river itself has been neglected. Investment in the waterfront environment around existing and planned GDA projects is vital if they are to be safely integrated with the river, and the upcoming Year of Architecture presents an ideal opportunity for Glasgow to position itself as a model of intelligent riverbank design which other cities can follow. The man who knows the Clyde better than anyone else in the city is George Parsonage. In his role as officer for the Glasgow Humane Society, George has patrolled the river daily for over 17 years, as his father Ben did before him for more than 60 years. In an average year, George saves up to a dozen people from drowning in these waters, but he also has to retrieve as many again that he can't save. No one is in a better position to advise on the basic steps which can be taken to reduce these shocking statistics. So how does the Clyde compare with other famous rivers?
It's a long, narrow, deep river. It's quite deceptive in its looks. It's got very strong currents. I compare the Clyde in Glasgow with the Thames at Putney. Where we're standing here, the Thames is 5 times wider, but at low tide we've still got 3 times the depth of water. It looks very calm and serene, but in actual fact it's flowing quite fast. The river is tidal to Cambuslang, to Boggleshole Ford and Cambuslang, which a lot of people don't realise. We have a tidal weir at Glasgow Green, and what that does is we don't get a low tide up here. It stops the water falling. It used to be for industry, for cooling systems and things. Now it's the pressure of water that holds the river banks up now. If the weir was taken away, the river banks would collapse. Even in the middle of summer, when it looks very, very slow moving, there are still deep undercurrents. And in the winter, I mean, it'll shift anything. It's very good for the 1 or 2 sports that go on it just now, the rowing boats and the few canoes. But again, you can't use it all year round. Sometimes when it's in flood, just no one can go out on the water. Most people want to walk along the river bank and actually just view the river, have a look at the river. And unfortunately right now that's quite difficult. Just now when we walk along the river bank, most of it, if you walk along the pathway, you can't actually see the river. As I say, people want to see the boats that are on the river. They want to see the ducks and the swans and the geese that are out there. They also like to just sit on the river bank, have their picnic or have their can of beer and watch the river going by. Because it's so densely overgrown just now, what you find is the public climb the fences and go down and sit right at the water's edge. Sometimes they find a wee spot where they can sit on a wall with their feet overhanging and just watch the river going by. They have 2 or 3 cans of beer, or even they lie in the sun for a couple of hours and they stand up and they stagger a wee bit and they fall in, and that's when we have real problems. You've also got the problem that when the adults climb fences to do this, children see them, and if the children see the adults climbing the fences, they think this is a done thing. We've got to get to the stage where people can sit, watch the river nicely over a nice low fence that is just it's a token barrier to stop a pram running out of control, or a child on a bike, or a football. Just a barrier there to say you do not pass this point. It doesn't need to be very high. And then we have a nice clean bank down to the water's edge where people can view it in safety. As long as it's overgrown, you get people wanting to go into it for all different types of purposes, and it doesn't work. The trouble with the overgrowth is that people think you can dump 3-piece suites and supermarket trolleys in amongst the bushes and nobody notices them. We're in a big industrial city, so you get a certain amount of oil and sewage and sludge comes down the river, and it clings as the tide rises and falls. It goes among this overgrowth of bushes and that, and it sticks to the leaves and clings there, and it's just a gooey mess. But the main thing is you've got to get people seeing the river. If they can't see the river, they want to get down to the water's edge, and that spells trouble.
On the overgrown riverbank, one plant in particular gives George cause for concern.
Hogweed is a very dangerous thing. I mean, that doesn't come into my remit of safety, but it frightens me. It's like giant rhubarb, and if you break the stalk, if you get any of the sap onto you, it's an acid, it's a first-degree burn. I do know that it's listed as a dangerous plant, and yet we have it the whole length of the river. Nothing grows below its umbrella of its leaves. It grows up to 20 feet high, and yet, you know, this is an area of parkland and a built-up city where you're